being here and wanting to get more involved in the community, when I heard about all the volunteering, we heard it like at the introduction to clubs at the beginning of the year, and we both thought like it sounded really like good to try. We went out with one of our classes, and it was really eye-opening to what it's like in East Hastings, because when you drive by, you're kind of like, oh, this is nerve-wracking. But when you're there, like handing people food and having a face-to-face conversation, you can actually kind of see how beautiful that connection is. I thought it was so impactful to me.
When Elizabeth came to LCS, she wasn't sure that she believed in God. She wasn't sure where her faith was at, and they just provided a safe place for her to explore that, for her to ask the questions, for her to have those doubts, and then just kept reinforcing the biblical principles, the Bible studies, the different things. She had that safe place to make her faith her own.
In New York, I was nervous at first. You kind of go there and they're like, you're gonna help out in like these schools that aren't really well off, and like you're gonna be benefiting them, but then you go there and you're like, maybe I'm the person benefiting?
Yeah, that's what I got from it as well.
Just the kids were so sweet, and it was kind of eye-opening to sit there with them and listen to what they were saying. They're such bright kids, but they don't have as many opportunities as we have, and it's so easy to take that for granted, and they just need an opportunity to thrive. And I think that's something that I will carry with me for the rest of my life, is like what's happening in the background. Some things you can only tell, like they're under the surface, you won't see them.
The last year, especially the last year and a half, she's taken some classes where they've really learned how to think critically. She's taken courses like social justice, where they're exploring really heavy, deep issues that are facing the world right now, and they're asking, how can we make the world a better place? Even as they're studying that from an educational point of view, a political point of view, they're also bringing everything back to the Bible. I think that her relationship with God has just exploded in the last year and a half. She's keeping a prayer journal, and she's diligent to be praying every day. She's diligent to read her Bible. Even when she was in New York, every night she'd message me, Mom, I want to say goodnight to you, but I just have to pray and read my Bible quick first, and then I have time to talk to you.
In the Bible, it says like the hungry person that you feed is me, and the thirsty person that you give water is me, right? So we're called to actually do the work, and they get there, and it's lonely people who just like need someone to reach out a hand and to acknowledge them and just to be seen. Like that's all they really want. You're not just learning about God, you're kind of being given the opportunity to meet him. Even if you think you have nothing, you still probably have more than something else. Like that's another part of the verse, like giving like the clothes off your back to like someone else. And even if you can't give like money, you can give like love and time. If you volunteer, it'll probably change your life. And it's never gonna be for the worse. You won't regret spending that time in God's presence.
I think that a big part of it is just those opportunities to step out in faith and do something uncomfortable. She has had a lot of anxiety in her past and struggled with taking those kinds of steps of faith. Mm-hmm. So to actually see her do something as adventurous as go to New York for the trip was huge. I think that will be a foundational moment, milestone in her life that she will always be able to go back to and use as she goes forward into life. It's a good place for your kids to learn, to grow, and to be equipped for life. It's not necessarily a place that's isolated, insulated from the world. It's not trying to be separated. There's opportunities to be in the world and understand the world, navigate in the world, and not be afraid of it. Is setting our kids up for success, no matter where they end up and what endeavors they take on in the future. And I think that's amazing.